Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota. My name is Jaren Nelson, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the Center. We are delighted that you have chosen to spend time with us today. In recognition of the one infinite presence that connects us all, I now greet you with Namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word which means the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Each Sunday, we join our voices in reading a declaration that reminds us of who we are as a spiritual community. I invite you to join with me now in reading our declaration aloud. We are a spiritual center that honors all paths to God. Ours is a positive message inspiring our possibilities and offering spiritual tools for transforming our lives and helping to make the world a better place. Here, we can find peace of mind, belonging to a spiritual home, and a personal relationship with the God of our understanding. We are here to discover what we already know. And now, as we transition into our time of prayer and meditation, let us go within for a few precious moments and reacquaint ourselves with that inner stillness that is always there, waiting to be rediscovered. As we turn from the outside world, let the words of the chant, God is, I am, unite with your inner knowing of this truth as you listen to it being sung, or perhaps you might also like to sing along.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am, God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
We are grateful and thankful to know that the essence of God is also that which we are. What a relief it is to know that we are fully anchored in the peace of God, even though the storms of life appear to be brewing all around us. How freeing to rest in the knowing that perfect peace is always available to us, just by turning within to find it awaits our recognition of it. So we now cast aside any idea of being separate from God. We refute any and all lack and limitation, and we open up to accept our full portion of peace. We willingly allow peace to pervade our thoughts, conversations, and actions. We accept that we are indeed people of peace through and through. We are grateful and thankful to release all resistance to the reality of the innate peace within us and the innate peace in all of humanity. We willingly allow all barricades to peace to be removed, and we allow peace to free flow through all the activity and affairs of our days. We affirm peaceful right action as the norm in all we do. No one can take the peace of God from us because it is pre-installed. It is our default setting. It is our divine DNA, and we declare this divine DNA of peace to be present and active in all persons. We are grateful and thankful to accept divine peace growing and expanding in and around us. We share the benefits of our recognition, growth, and expansion of peace with all because we are one with them. We are grateful and thankful for the fact that peace is alive and well within all of humanity right now. We allow it to be. We know it is done, and so it is. Today, we have a guest speaker with us. She's been with us before, and we are pleased to have the honor of having Reverend Christie Hardwick with us once again. Reverend Christie is an ordained religious science minister, a leadership development expert, a master facilitator, having had her own executive coaching practice for over 15 years. She also had a 30-year career in the high-tech world, including several years at the executive level. In addition, she was a member of the executive committee of the Women's Leadership Board for the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. As the founder of Inspiration Gatherings, Christie creates music and spoken word events to invite each of us to walk our path with a more open heart. She divides her residence between Italy and St. Petersburg, Florida. Reverend Christie and her wife Jane have 4 children and 5 grandchildren between them. Reverend Christie Hardwick's message for today is titled, Freedom and Independence, an Inside Job. I know we will all glean many valuable insights from her talk today. But first, we are going to hear from today's guest vocalist, the amazing Jay Poindexter, accompanied by Bob Teesdale. Today, Jay will be singing Amazing Grace. Welcome, Jay Poindexter.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. A precious deed that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already thus far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. The Spirit promised good to me. Its word my hope secure. It will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Yea, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, and now I'm found, was blind, and now I see.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom shall not rest until it's done. Freedom. Greetings. Good to be with you again. It's that time of year we're thinking about celebrating independence and freedom. It's a tricky time. Right now we are facing some challenges that help us to see that disease, the pandemic, the disease of racism, things like that can keep us from feeling the freedom that's inherent in us. So let's talk a little bit about freedom today and independence. I wanted to start with this idea of freedom itself and when we first noticed that we were free. And I was thinking about it from my childhood. I don't know about you, but I remember being able to get up in the morning and pack a little snack, get on my bike and ride and go places and explore things and find something interesting in a little creek or a pond. And no one was worried about me. I was able to do this and be gone for hours and hours and hours until I got hungry and came back home. It let me climb trees, climb fences, get into all sorts of little kind of tiny troubles. But that was back then. I was born in 1959. And for the years of the 60s, in suburbs, you could play and you were free. And childhood was still childhood. I could lay on the grass and I could look up at the clouds and I could imagine and I could dream. I could play in the evenings with my neighbors and friends. We could play hide and seek. We could play all kinds of games until the grass made you itch because you'd been playing outside in the heat so much in the summertime. That felt like freedom as a child. As soon as you began to go into structures and organizations, even as a child, your freedom started to change some. When it was school time, you needed to be there at a certain time. You needed to sit in a certain place and do certain kind of activities that were based on the structure of the classroom day. So you began to be organized by something external to you. And then, of course, that continued all the way through your school years, however far in school you decided to go. Whether it was just through high school or when you went to college, a lot of structure. Things were due. Things were required. There were activities that you could partake in, and there were those that were not allowed during the school day. So there was structure, and there were rules, and there were policies that you got introduced to throughout your career in school. And depending on who you were and where you were, the kinds of policies, rules, and organizations you're introduced to might be different. But we all had that structure. And then we went on to work, whether we worked when we were young or whether we worked a little bit later after college, we went on to work. Another organization, structure, policies, rules. And we began to maybe lose sight of that part of us that would open our day and spend it the way our heart was calling us to do. And instead, we had to-do lists and requirements and deadlines, and it almost became who we were. And maybe some of you are in that mode right now, where you're working and you're at the desk all day, and it doesn't feel very much like freedom. So when we think about freedom and we look at it from the standpoint of where is our freedom? If we must do some things, if we are in a circumstance where there's structure and organizations and policies that tell us that we have constraint on what we do or how we spend our time, where's our freedom? Where is your freedom today? I contemplated that because sometimes I have a tremendous amount of control over my day because I have semi-retired, and not all of you are in that position, and I recognize that. But when I do have a lot of schedule and structure and requirements, I think, where is my freedom now? And my freedom is in a few places, in a few practices. But all of those places and practices reside within me. One of the first places of freedom is in curiosity. I can always remain curious. I can always use my imagination. That was a gift of spirit to me. I can imagine things. I can dream. This is a freedom. I am also free to choose my response to what's ever happening in my life. Whatever's happening in my small circle or in the larger circle, in the community and in the world, I have freedom to choose. I think about another type of freedom, and it's a freedom of expression. Some of us have even more freedom to express. This happens to be July now, so we've ended LGBTQ Pride Month, but we do know that some people in our LGBTQ community may not feel a level of freedom to completely express. But most of us have a tremendous amount of freedom to express who we are. So it's one of our choices. Our choice to use our imagination, our curiosity, our choice to how to respond to things that are happening, and our choice about our expression. So how does all this tie together in terms of our being independent but yet interdependent? One thing I would offer is that we all want the same freedoms, and we all want to help our brothers and sisters with their freedoms. So imagine a world where we are all free at a similar level. We are all free. We're free in terms of our ability to choose how to respond. We're free in terms of our imagination. We're free in terms of our expression. And we're actually free to access opportunities because there are not systemic or structural things in the way for anyone. What a world that could be for all of us. Because we depend on each other, because how well your brother or sister are doing in the neighborhood next door affects the quality of your life. It matters to the whole how each of us are doing. So one of the freedoms we have is to choose to respond to the current situation with compassion and caring for the whole. How can we best respond to the pandemic? Not just for ourselves, but for every person that may be affected by it, for our vulnerable neighbor, for a neighbor who doesn't feel vulnerable, for youth, for the elderly. What is my individual response? I am free to craft that. And given the situation with such intensity around race and race relations, what is my response? What does my imagination, my curiosity direct me to do? What do I do with my freedom in this situation today? What is the meaning of being a nation of free people if not all people are free? I can choose to care about that. And I can choose to express myself. And I decide what that expression looks like. What kind of choices will you make? What kind of choices are yours to make? What does freedom look like in your life? We who believe in freedom shall not rest. There's that refrain in a wonderful song from Sweet Honey in the Rock. But when it says shall not rest, it doesn't mean that you don't take care of yourself during these very challenging times, because they're full of opportunity, but we also do need to take care of ourselves. But the shall not rest is the idea of not resting in terms of giving up on or letting go of the desire to have a world that works for everyone. We don't rest on that principle. We rest within, we build our inner strength, we build our imagination and our curiosity, we build our beautiful ability to respond to life with love, and we build our expression as an expression of love. We're free to do this. And the question for us is, what do we do with our freedom? I am deciding with my freedom to spend time with people like you, with friends, with some like-minded people, but also I'm spending time with people who are struggling right now, who are having a hard time with both the idea of isolating and masking and distancing, and who are having a really difficult time with the anger and frustration and hatred and grief and sadness that we're experiencing around race in this country right now. So I am using my freedom and choosing to be with anyone who wants to be centered and to find the place within them as a place of love. Because I'm free to do this. I'm free to choose my response to these times right now. There's some beautiful thoughts that I love to remind myself of, but there's an expression that we are made for times such as these. If the teachings of New Thought and the teachings of unity and the teachings of oneness and that we're all one in God, in spirit, in universal source are worth anything, they're absolutely worth everything in a time like this. So I celebrate my freedom. I celebrate the opportunity to use my imagination, to use my curiosity to learn, to decide from love to respond, and to express my unique humanity. And I celebrate this freedom. And I celebrate this freedom with you. May we all enjoy some fun and relaxation and rest during this Independence Day. And may we also remember that while we are independent and unique emanations of Source, of God, of the good, we are also dependent and interdependent with each other. So we care for the whole, and our freedom and the freedom of all others are connected inextricably, always in spirit. I thank you for your time.
Down in the depths, in the dark of my heart, all alone in the night, no sun in sight, in a dream, what does anything mean? I can't get a grip on reality. Then I hear a voice telling me I have a choice. It says, hang on, it ain't gonna be long. Stay strong, walk through, walk on. Be still, hand over your wheel. Give up control, let it be, let it go. Hope, 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 hope. Holding on to something that I just can't see. Trying to find me some spirituality. Give me a sign, I'm gonna be alright. Help me make it through this desperate night. Then I hear a voice telling me I have a choice. It says, hang on, it ain't gonna be long. Stay strong, walk through, walk on. Be still, hand over your wheel. Give up control, let it be, let it go. Stand tall, cause we all fall. We're gonna make it in the end, my friend. Hope, 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 hope. Hang on, it ain't gonna be long. Stay strong, walk through, walk on. Be still, hand over your wheel. Give up control, let it be, let it go. Stand tall, cause we all fall. We're gonna make it in the end, my friend. Hope, you're gonna make it in the end. I say hope, you're gonna make it in the end, my friend. We're gonna make it in the end. I say hope, we're gonna make it in the end, my friend. gonna make it in the end, I say, ho! We're gonna make it in the end, my friend.
Thanks again for being with us today, Reverend Christie Hardwick, and for your inspiring, empowering, and timely message about freedom, independence, and our role in that. Many thanks to Jay and Bob as well for sharing with us their musical gifts and the encouraging message of hope. We want you to know that the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota is here to support you in knowing the power and presence of your spiritual essence. We are here to offer prayer support, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual community and connection. We appreciate your financial gifts so that we can continue to offer support to you. There are 3 simple ways to share your gift. On your screen, you'll see our website where you can select the donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or credit card. Or you can mail a check to our address, or set up automatic contributions through your own online banking. And now, I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand, place it over your heart, blessing it as you affirm with me. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. My gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper, and the divine flow returns it to me, multiplied abundantly. Thank you so much. On our website at www.cslsarasota.com, we want to draw your attention to the green prayer request button, which allows you to send us a prayer request. Our 3 licensed spiritual practitioners, Kathleen Frankert, Jim Grove, and me, stand by ready to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you, no matter the situation. Here on our website, you can also sign up for our weekly email newsletter or click on our Facebook link to see posts about upcoming events. One very important event that's coming up is our annual meeting. It will be held at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 12th via Zoom online conferencing. While this meeting is normally held in March, we of course needed to postpone it due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But we are grateful that we can now join together as a community and hold this meeting due to Zoom online technology. All members and friends of our center are welcome and encouraged to attend. This is a great opportunity to elect new trustees to our board, hear updates about our center from Reverend Karen and trustees, and most importantly, hear from you. Please email Kathleen Frankert at the email on the screen so that you can receive the official Zoom link invitation. Details about this event will also be available on our website at www.cslsarasota.com. Also, continuing this and every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m., we have our Spiritual Living Circles via Zoom conferencing. This free, informal, inspirational time and community is open to all, and discussion focuses on an article from the Current Science of My magazine. If you would like to participate and receive your midweek lift and realignment, email the facilitator, licensed spiritual practitioner Jim Grove, to receive the Zoom link and other information. Now, as we conclude this sacred time together, let us move forward into our day and the week ahead, knowing that we go forward in health, in safety, and in perfect peace. I now invite you to join in singing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Thank you for being with us, and have a wonderful week, everyone.
that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take